Good morning, crew. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, Mr. Ed. The famous Mr. Ed. Sorry. Every time I say Mr. Ed, it makes me think of it. And Mr. Drummer, 0701. Is your birthday July 1st? Laid off Pete. Good morning, brother. Sorry to keep you up so late last night. Blabbing your ear off. Yeah, meetings. Got to make that money. Ed, you've already said that again. You've already said that once about how now you're the talking horse. No, you're not the talking horse. You're Mr. Ed Durbin, lanyard maker extraordinaire. Howdy, I'm me. So yeah, man, I'll tell you what, the weather here is getting to be nice. I did not take, last night was the first night I did not have to take a jacket with me to work. And right now it is 60 degrees and it's going to get up to 81 today. So 60 to 81. And then the only problem with that weather at this time of year is it causes a cold front to roll in and make it and give us tornadoes. So supposedly we're supposed to have strong winds later, but I don't believe it because the temperature is not dropping. In fact, overnight it's only going to get down to 66 before sunrise. 65 right after sunrise tomorrow. So yeah, I'm loving the weather at the moment. It's open your windows weather. If you have windows that are openable, turn off the AC and open the windows. I mean, turn off the central heat and open the windows. Master pool shark, huh? We'll have to see about that sometime. If we all make it to the Blade Show Atlanta, maybe we can go out and play billiards and drink some beers, and I'll have a grand old time. That sounds like that would be fun. I've been known to play a few games of pool myself. I've owned numerous pool tables at my house. I don't at the moment, but it's only because I kind of grew out of that phase for a minute. So let's talk about what I had in my pocket last night at work. Get that over with because we got to do the new drop Friday. So I got this in the mail yesterday, and that doesn't tell you much. Because that could be anything. Well, couldn't be anything, but it could be any Kunwu. But this is the one I got. This is the Pulsar XL with DLC reverse tucks. So I had that in the front pocket last night. Man, Kunwu's DLC is something else. Yep, had that in the front pocket. And then in the back pocket, which I still have, is once again the Artisan Cutlery Caruso. And this knife is really growing on me. The action is just getting even more buttery by the day. I don't know if you saw that, but I didn't do anything. That blade just drops. So yeah, the Gringo is a super cool pattern. Yeah, Ed, I like the sounds like a sausage party in ATL. Playing billiards with your buddies and drinking some beers is not a bad time. There's females everywhere. But no sausage parties when I'm involved. I don't know how they do it up in New York, but just messing around. Anyway, the action on this knife has just gotten to where it's like drop shut. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Anyway, had that in the back pocket. You had a TS-209 in pocket last night. Pirate knife. Oh, is that the one you took pictures of? Yeah, with the curvy blade. Yeah, those make me think of pirate knives as well. So I only had one other Kunwu before I got that one. And it happens to be the Django XL in the same pattern reverse tux. Partly why I got this one, because I had this one. Good morning, Ron Crow. Good morning, TC Blades. Yeah, that's the reason I got this, and I got it for $160, and it doesn't look like it's been used at all. The blade on it is pristine. There's no snails or any kind of marks on it anywhere. So anyway, I had this one. I had a chance to grab this one for $160. And so, yeah, I like larger knives, so I decided I would get the other XL, or another XL. So now I've got to get the X Padre. Ed wasn't wrong about getting bit by the Kunwu bug. I waited a long time before I bought one, just because I knew I would like them. But they're reasonably priced. I mean, like I bought this one brand new from the Kunwu website, and I think it was like $239, something like that. But the crossbar action on these is, I would put them up against anybody in the crossbar game, or the clutch lock game, or whatever you want to call it game. What do they call the original crappy one? Oh yeah, axis lock game. Kunwu's in another league. I mean, it's right up there in the top 3 for me. So that made me think about some of the knives that I like and what compares best to these as far as crossbar goes. And Kaiser is also right up at the top of the list. Kaiser, their crossbar is, in another league too. So this from Kaiser is on my crossbar lock top list. This is the Drop Bear in LMAX steel. Super cool little knife. And the action on this is smoother than the Kunwu and locks up. I mean, zero, like most all axis lock, clutch lock, crossbar locks knife, they have like a minuscule amount. Good morning, Doc Seuss. Of up and down blade play, vertical blade play. Side to side, you can tighten a pivot and get that out of the way, but that affects the action on a lot of knives. And this is one of them where you can tighten the pivot almost as tight as you want to get it, and it's still got that butter action. So that would be in my top 5 of crossbar lock knives that I've ever felt. And then the other one that's in my top 5 is the Miguron Vane. So the Vane is a very cool blade. It's got the little harpoon hook on it. It's got a great blade shape, and the milling on it is awesome. Yeah, it's got the cool milling, cool clip, clean lines. Just another classic knife. And I can't get it to, this one has not been open in a long time. But as far as the lockup goes with the vertical and the action, like I said, I haven't had this one out, so it could be stiff, could need some oil. But it's pretty much butter and dead lockup too. So those 3 are probably in my top 5 of my crossbar lock knives is any Kunwu, because they're all great. Just about any Kaiser crossbar lock knife. I was going to grab a couple more, like the red Rich Light version of the... Can't ever remember the name of that knife. Somebody will tell me here in a second, but it's just as good. So is the mini Towser K that I have. I was going to grab a couple of Kaisers to put out here because the Towser K, just as good. The mini, I don't know. They're all great. And they were so great, they named their own, and it's a clutch lock. And I think the clutch thing helps with the vertical blade play. Same with these Kunwus. I do like the little angled thumb pads on the Kunwu that kind of angle so you can grab them. They make it really easy to not miss. And these blades are so big, they kind of sling out there, whereas this one didn't want to open the first few times. But like I said, I hadn't opened it in a while. And then thinking of the best crossbar lock knives made me think of one of my favorite other button locks. So at the top of the button lock game for me, good morning, Be Shady, is the Vostede Psyop. It is a top liner lock, so it's not a plunge lock. So can you really call it a button lock, or is it a top liner lock? That's I think if it's got a button that you press to close it, then it's a button lock. That's the whole point. However it actuates the lock mechanism, you're still pushing a button. So to me, I kind of feel that way. Most everything, except a couple examples I'm going to show, are either a plunge lock or a top liner lock. There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, that's true. So the Vostede Psyop, another great knife with the milling. I don't like many patterns, but for some reason, just about all these have a pattern. So there you go. So let's start a whole nother little row for button locks, because I got a few. I don't have many out here because I don't consider many that great. I mean, a lot of them work well. It's not hard to get a good button lock. But another one of my... the Vostede presses the liner through. The button goes through and presses the liner instead of wrapping around the blade like a plunge lock does. Yeah, it's a liner lock knife, but it's a button actuated, just like Ed said. So I call it a button lock knife. Next on my button lock list, believe this is a plunge lock, is the Exciton, Exciton, however you want to call it. This is a very nice knife. It looks like it's an integral. I say it both ways every time because depending on how you're saying in a sentence. Anyway, this is actually a fake integral. It's got a little cap piece that goes over the top that connects the two scales. So it's a faux. Good morning, Sever 7. It's a faux integral. So that is in my top 5 of button locks. And then another Kaiser made that grouping. And this also is a plunge lock. And you can tell that when you look at the button, whether you see it pushing a liner or you see it interacting with the blade. And the Cormorant is probably the fidgiest knife on the planet. Probably has more ways to open it than any other knife. The frag pattern on this titanium one is great. Blade shape is great. Kaiser does great in both locks, as you can see, clutch locks and plunge locks. This one has, like I said, every way to open it possible. It's got rear flipper, front flipper, blade hole, button. There's not a way if you like playing around with knives, this is one to get. I usually just hit the button and use a little wrist. That's what she said. To open and close mine. But that is another. That doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't go over there. That's probably another one's in my top 5. And then an honorary mention in the new lock category is the Vostede Ankilo. And if you ever take one of these apart, you'll see that this is a very secure center button lock. Now, I'm calling it a button lock too, even though the mechanism that it activates is totally different than all the other ones here. But the action on this thing is great, and it's about as good in fidgetiness as the Vanker lock. There you go, Pete. And that's just their name for it. There's multiple other companies coming out with this quote Vanker lock. So they like to say that it anchors in their Vostede, so they called it Vanker. But there's lots of other knives that have a center button per se. Some of them are made just about exactly like this one is. I've seen a few recently, disassemblies, but this is also a great knife. And it gets honorary mention. It's growing into being probably the top 5. So there's 4 of each, and what I had in my back pocket. Now we can get into what other people are talking about. I'm done with my rant. I'm going to go to everybody else. So, yeah, it's okay. Okay, you're right. But there are other knives that have an internal liner that locks in the middle of the blade. So how you push that out of the way is probably what they have copywritten. But there are other knives where the internal liner on one side comes and locks into the blade, the center of the blade cutout. So you can see the blade cutout right there. That's where the lock goes in and comes in and locks in. So yeah, it's just like the clutch lock thing. That's their lock too, and whatever, but still just an axis lock. All right. So there were some people mentioning stuff up here. We got to go over the new knife drops, but somebody said something up here, and I want to try to recognize all of that. Okay, Ed said TS209. Ed said he's got the Django XL and the Padre. Doc Seuss just got a Django this week. Hellos. Thank you. Haven't slept. Take a nap. PJ Matsey Striga. So that's the first one. Striga. PJ Massey Striga. PJ Massey Striga. Knife. Whatever. I don't know if I spelled that Striga right. Probably need to put the Matsey Striga. Urban EDC. Oh, look. Urban EDC doesn't work. Imagine that. All right, Blade HQ. I'm gonna guess you got this one because that's the only one you could find. I'm hoping you got this one, but you didn't. You probably got the red one because that seems like the crazy color people would buy. Uh, Morning, Nick. Not sure. You says, oh, it says, huh. I don't know which version you got. Which one did you get? You got that one? Really? Oh, I thought the dude's name was PJ Matsey. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. That's funny. I know what PJ stands for. That's awesome. I thought his name was PJ. Sorry. I may or may not have partaken this morning. Um, which reminds me of something. I've got this idiot stalker guy, real loser. No, I don't want to talk bad about him. I just got tired of his little eighth grade stuff, so I quit talking to the guy. And then he caught feelings and got super mad because I quit talking to him. So he started spreading lies and stuff, and so he came to my YouTube channel when I first opened it because he was still just obsessed with me. I guess I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because that makes me sound like there's something to be obsessed about. But anyway, there's this idiot, and I'm curious if y'all can see comments on my some of my shorts and my videos that don't show up because there's only one person that I've clicked the thing where it says hide comments for this user from now on. There's only one person I've done that with, and that's this guy. And I think he's still commenting on my stuff like 8 months later. Pretty crazy. He caught feelings and got mad because I just like out of the blue quit talking to him. We used to talk a lot. So can y'all do me a favor and can y'all go to like my YouTube page and see if you see on my shorts, on the two shorts that I posted during the night, can you see if there shows y'all one comment but yet you can't see a comment? Because I get mad. I get mad when I see that one and I go to look for the comment and it's not there and it has to be him. So I don't know. Yeah, chicks do get weird, huh? Knives are life. But can one of y'all go to this short, the Caruso and the Padre XL, and see if it shows y'all one comment, but yet you can't see a comment? Because that's what it shows me. If I go into it, now it shows two. There's still addicted commented. But see how it shows me two and there's only one? You see the missing comment? So it's somebody's got me blocked. What is the missing comment and who said it? Oh, you don't see it? Oh, sorry for the music. No, I'm not sorry, but uh, there's another old one on here. And this one shows one, but there isn't one. Yeah, I don't know. That's just weird. It's gotta be dude. It's from Keep It Scale, stupid? You mean one as well? Yeah, I think you meant you see two, but only see one as well. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Thank you. Click the filter button in newest. Shows both. Do I have a filter button? Ah, up here. Yeah, so why is that? Does it do that on the other video? Uh, yep. Okay. Well, that's better. That makes me think at least dude's not still obsessed with me and I have to worry about something like, good grief. So does anybody know why that works? All right. Well, thanks, guys. Now that I know that I can use that filter to get to it, I won't uh, be so worried. Like, who's gonna like try to wear a chip suit with chip skin? I don't. We don't need it. I don't. He doesn't need to be wearing an Edgar suit, whereas Edgar is me. Um. All right. Wait. We still had a couple more mentions in the channel before I got distracted again. Congrats. Okay. B Shady has a micarta cormorant. First button lock he ever bought. Awesome. Kaiser Dogfish is good. Yeah, I'm sure if it's a Kaiser, it's like they just hit it out the park with crossbar and button locks. And then truffles. Did the truffles get mentioned? Aurora knife and tool truffles. Aurora knife and tool truffles. All right, Aurora. I knew there was another one I missed. Aurora knife and tools truffle. MeatTruffles.com. All right. Roundhouse lock. And the game-changing roundhouse lock. All right. So there's an OG Truffles, $199 order. Check out. No. Not yet. So now we got to find a video about the truffles. OG Truffles. Search. Videos. Oh my gosh. All right, Stassa, one of my favorites. All right, since he reviewed it, he took it apart. So let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Game changer. All right, I know he takes them apart. That's why I like Stassa. But he didn't. Sikio, huh? Does he have another one? New lock. Yeah, here we go. Come on, show me the lock. Why is nobody taking it apart? Are y'all yelling at me? He usually takes them apart. Oh well. Disassembly. The guy that actually made it. That's even better. Clip. Pivot. Show me what's going on. Wait, I still don't understand it. How is it pushing? Oh, now I see. It's back behind that liner. Now I see the part of the liner. It goes back behind that. That's weird. So how does it engage the blade? Oh. Oh, that's cool. He's got it like a set. That is a big boy. Liner leaf. Yeah, that goes back behind there. That's weird. That's not the same as the Vanker lock for sure. Um, I don't know what y'all are talking about down there now, but yeah, yeah, it's a cantilever. Yeah, I can now I get it once I saw it behind there. Um, Pretty wild. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. Thank you for that. I think that was the last knife mentioned, if I remember it right. Besides the Striga. All right, back to the Friday's video. Yeah, I almost brought that one in here. Uh, I've got it. It's the one I had to find the. Yeah, since since I like the Vanker lock better, I didn't bring this one in here. It was still in the kitchen, and yeah, I didn't bring it in here. But it's basically the same as those. It's pretty smooth. Uh, yeah, this is the other one that's pretty much just like this one. All right, back to the Friday festivities, which is the new drops. Loose. We already saw that one, Jack Stagg, but let's look at it. One more again. Another Jack Stag, another knife that. Anyway. Audacious Concept Backcountry Scalpel. Yep, that's the one. Well, Urban EDC, my favorite website because of how great it is, had those. We saw that one too. I think we're gonna be getting some. Oh, they made a Bexar. That's our buddy Knives Are Life. Oh, this reminds me of a good sale I need to tell y'all about if you don't know about it. Bexar bottle opener. We saw that one on the SHOT Show video twice. A sale that's going on right now is the Quiet Carry Drift. Not Drift. The Quiet Carry The West. A lot of y'all like slip joints. It's on sale for $70 off. It's normally $170 and it's down to $99 and $96. So this is the version I like. As far as knurled, stonewash. Wait, hold on. Is it knurled, stonewash? Stonewash is what I like. Stonewash. All right. So you can get this for $96 right now with 20 CV, 2.5 inch blade, 6 inches overall, body 2.5, hollow grind, super cool looking little slip joint. It's on sale right now. Let's see, Vero Mystery Blim Box. Oh, that would be a cool box to get. That's cool. They had different ones that you could get. Oh, that's a cool way to get rid of your blemishes. uh, may not be included. Their certificate 10 to 20%. I still think I've got to get the fixed blade. It's just bare. You know, Bexar made me think of like the Mandalorian steel. I know it's not Bexar, but for some reason that word, that's kind of why I said it the way I did. I was thinking of the Mandalorian. Well, dang it. Best car. Yeah. So Bexar made me think of Beskar, which is the helmet on the Mandalorian. It's that steel right there. It's called Beskar. If you didn't know, if you're not a geek. So that Vero mystery box is pretty cool. Then we have here you go, Nick. Got the TR3 Integrity. Nope, that's the wrong link. I clicked the right link. He's got it going to the wrong knife. I need to tell him his link's off. Somebody message Scott Skiff and tell him this ProTech link is off. It takes you to Jack Wolf's knife. I like Caviso. So there's the manual. Those are some ugly colors. Good grief. So yes, as Nick was explaining yesterday, most all ProTechs come in both a manual and a auto version. Not all of them and not most of them probably, but a lot of them do. That is a weird one. I could almost deal with that, but it's just a little too weird. I think I like that one the best out of these versions. So that's cool. Arcane Necronaut V3. I want to say, yeah, that's the one he showed on the video we watched. I was wondering how how he got the pivot to not. Well, I wasn't wondering how he did it, but I like how he didn't have the pivot showing. What is now? Why? Oh yeah, that's a different knife. Yeah, so it's a captive nut on that side for the pivot, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know about the red and the blue. I wish he had this version with the plain blade. I get so upset sometimes because I can't get the right knife put together. Like they'll come so close. Like I don't know. I don't want the two-tone. Like, ugh. And if I gotta have the two-tone, I guess I just want it black and silver. So like I want the black and silver with the regular blade. So where's the black and silver with the regular blade? It's not on here. Additional parts, $42. So sell me another blade for $42 and I'll buy this one. He probably would if I bought that one. Good morning, PJ. Yeah, Nick. Did you not? You haven't seen the table yet? Sorry. I got a Pulsar XL in yesterday. Today I'm getting all four of my new all four of the new Lemifshi Rosies I'm getting today, so I'll be able to compare them with all four of the Jufool Rosies. They're out for delivery right now, so I'll get 4 knives today. I got this one yesterday. I bought a couple last night too, and this one I got a couple days ago. And the action on it, man, I'm telling y'all, once you get a knife, like, it made me realize how many people have sold knives just because, well, not just because, but not knowing that had they tweaked tuned it a little bit, it would have been a totally different knife to them and they would have never got rid of it. Because when the way this knife came, I could see why the guy sold it. Like, if he kept using it like that, then he wouldn't have liked that knife. But with like 5 minutes worth of work, taking a little bit of tension out of the lock bar, it turned it into a drop shut, perfect action knife. Makes an awesome sound. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's got a good thwack. Doc Seuss, this is the Artisan Cutlery Caruso. And it looks quite a bit. I'm going to lay it like right there and try to get lucky. It looks a lot like this knife right here. Boom to boom. It looks a lot like that one that I bookmarked the other day in one of the videos. With the blade shape and the shape of the handle, except the handle's a little bigger on this Caruso. And it's got milling where that one doesn't. I kind of like that one better. But I do like the milling on the Caruso. If I have to deal with milling, at least I want it to be nice milling and pretty much symmetrical and not too, I don't know, not some wild, crazy pattern going on. Let's get back to the point. Necronaut Maverick carbon fiber. I haven't seen that one yet. How much does it weigh? 2.8 ounces. Toxic Storm, Purple Haze, Nebula, Jungle Wear, Black Camo, and Classic. Special batch. I think the Black Camo or the Nebula are my favorite too. That's why it's so great we can all have different tastes, because I'm sure some of y'all love that Jungle Wear or the Purple Haze better, or even the Toxic Storm. Kind of want to show y'all something wild that I found. I found a whole nother source of knives last night. It's pretty wild. It's a Russian-Chinese connection of knives coming out of, I guess somebody's selling them out of Russia. There's a lot of Russian websites that talk about replica knives and Chinese knives in general, I guess. But I ran across a weird one last night, and I joined a weird Telegram where he posts all the knives for sale with the prices and stuff. And he's got some knives that I haven't seen anywhere else, which is pretty crazy. I thought I knew about all of them. Yeah, TC Blades, I know you would be into it. So let me see if I can just show you an easy way. I don't even know about logging into my Telegram. That's the whole thing. Let me check my Telegram. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, I don't have Telegram installed on this computer. I've got it on my other one, so it should work out okay. So you go to Reddit, and there's a post in the Chinese Knives subreddit from a guy asking if anyone has seen a knife. There's also a stupid post about somebody wanting a fixed blade Rosie clone. No, I'm just joking. It's not stupid. But down here, there'll be a post. It's one of those, have you seen this knife posts, which I do from time to time. And a couple of people, there's the duckling renders. They should turn out pretty good. All right, so TS88. I don't know what this knife is called. And it seems like I'm going back awful far. Let me sort it by new. Hold on. Forgive me. So I know it wasn't that old. It was right before I posted that one, the Annex. Come on. It's got to be in this forum. All right, well. So the link, I'm going to have to look on my phone and tell y'all if I don't see it just pretty soon. There it is. So that is the knife that I haven't seen yet. And it is a weird looking knife that lots of people would have bought by now had it been available to all of us. And the guy has the Russian guy has a YouTube channel called Fargo_7, where he lists all his knives that he also sells in his Telegram. And they're all Chinese. So you go to one of his videos like this one, and he's got the link to his WhatsApp and his Telegram and his email. So you go to the Red Rock Knives Telegram. You view in Telegram, which is not working. It should. You shouldn't have to. And so he has posted all these knives, and then he has the price of them. So the prices are in weird numbers. So that's $137.90. So $138. They get the zeros wrong in China and Russia. And then it's called the Snex Tiger. So it's $138. It's in the availability, which means it's available. And you can pay him through WhatsApp or email, I guess, through PayPal or some way. But I did do a little research and got some vouchers, and he's got way too many knives posted with reasonable prices on them. A lot of Vespas, a lot of M390 out the fronts. But basically all the knives that he has, some District 9 knives that I haven't really paid attention to. He does carry some Romettes, like even the one that I like, this one right here, the Swordfish. But he's got a ton of knives, and all of them have a YouTube video of the action. Whoops, there's his WhatsApp. And I don't guess all of them have a video, but a lot of them have a video link. So he does the little action video. And you can tell that he's probably a Chinese guy that runs one of the AliExpress stores or something, that has a YouTube channel and then also has his own Telegram, so he can sell knives out the back. Yes, Snex is who made the Vision. That's who made the Vision. So that is a model of the Vision. But anyway, if you want to look him up, it's Fargo it's Fargo, and the icon is General Mao or somebody. I don't know if that's Mao or I don't know who that picture is. It's probably a crazy character in China. I don't know. Anyway, I got to that because of seeing the Maverick, and I don't know what triggered it after that. We saw the knife standard. He's released some more RR3s, which is an awesome classic knife, including this version right here, which is the one I want. I was gonna have to get one of the ones with the carbon fiber because he didn't have a plain one until not long ago. He decided to come out with one, and that's a beautiful, cool, super cool knife. I don't know what that link was. Oh, were you just sharing the link? Pete, thank you. All right. Yeah, if y'all don't know about the knife standards RR3, you need to check it out. Olamic table prototypes. Choose blade shape prototypes. Oh, cool. So they did the show, whatever they took to the show. The Olamic, yeah, Olamic Cutlery makes some crazy cool knives. That I had bookmarked them. We needed to go check them out because I don't know if y'all have seen all the craziness that they make. So I love their website. So they have a build your own. I almost bought a whippersnapper and another version, but build your own. So they have, hold on, under folding knives, they have the sketches, which is really cool. I almost bought a busker too. The whippersnapper is a super cool looking knife, but I love how they have the renders, and I love this website, how it's set up. And since they're a custom shop, you can pick pretty much anything you want to put together, and they'll make it happen. Like, and some of their designs are just incredible. Like, I don't know, I love the whippersnapper, but I love looking at their pages because they have so many different custom versions. And if you ever want to see what one knife, like, there's a few sites like this. I'm having a brain fog on another version of a knife. But anyway, there's quite a few custom makers have pages where they have lots of different versions of their knives with pictures. With holes, without holes, different shaped holes, with, you know, Damascus inlays, all kinds of different ones. But anyway, if you haven't checked out Olamic's website, you need to go check it out. And then you can pick any of their knives. Just like I said, you can build your own. So you can pick one of their models you like the whippersnapper. And well, that one's not a fully custom one, but like the Wayfarer 24/7, you can pick a Warning Cutlass, Curtis, Capanto, Bowie, and then you pick the blade finish you want, and or you can do a maker's choice on the rest of it. So you can pick flat, stripe and lay, sculpted with holes, sculpted, hole pattern flat. All right, pivot collars. What do you want? But anyway, he's got a cool website. We're not going to go through and build a knife, but got a build assistant. So for them to have a place where they're selling the prototypes and stuff from the table, super cool to me. I tried to message one of the guys on the video that said, there's the busker. I almost bought one of those too. That's a cool version right there. I love that pattern stonewashing on the blade. Olamic, yeah, I think it's Olamic probably, not Olamic. It's Olamic, I'm sure. Another one of those where it doesn't. I just didn't like the way the busker looked when it was closed. Is why I didn't buy one. I like it open, but I don't like it closed. That's why I said I always want to see a picture of the knife with it closed, because that makes a difference. It looks too much like a pear or something, or like a, I don't know what. They should have figured out a different way to make that same shape, but go deeper in or something. I don't know. But that's cool that they're selling their table stuff. Let's go back, see what's next. The Hobbit button lock from my guy in Tennessee, West Tennessee. We've seen that one every week for the last 4 weeks. Mini Prodigy is another one from him. I like that one. I don't know what's up with these new blue colored blades though. I don't know if that's really blue or if that's just the lighting. It's probably the lighting. It's just a dark stonewash, but kind of weird. Yeah, because that even has like a blue tint to it. It's probably the lighting in his shop or something. I don't know. Then he's got an Unto. Yep. Now it just says made in USA in my shop, not in West Tennessee. Gavco got a new one, the Shrunk Mako. Yeah, his Mako is a cool knife. I'm guessing that's instead of making it a mini Mako, it's the Shrunk Mako. 3.3 inch blade. I'm losing my voice this morning already because I don't have nothing to drink. That's why I have that coffee normally. That's a cool knife. What do y'all think of that one? Um, and then the Devo Tallboy. I really like that Kubi was able to put the box like a. They're able to print colors on the boxes now, so look for that coming soon to most Kubi knives with some kind of. Now we got billboarding on our boxes from Kubi, which is fine, I guess. Devo seems to be killing it. You got to give him props. He built a cool YouTube channel, designed some cool knives, designed a following that would buy those knives, and he's got a plan. And I like his attitude and most everything. And from what I've seen from his knives, I like the fact he's using Kubi. I like the fact he's pretty transparent about all the different OEMs he's checked out and problems with each and all that stuff. I like a lot about the guy, or at least half of it. I don't know who y'all know all the story behind it, but who the other half is of Devo. But anyway, he seems to be doing his thing. Hypercut manufacturing. That is a pretty wild looking knife. You know, prices of these knives, I got to talking with Pete a little bit last night, and I was just mentioning the fact that, you know, when you buy a knife, people try to talk about how materials are so expensive, but it's not the materials you're paying for, it's the labor you're paying for. So then I started thinking about a lot of these knives nowadays. The person that's really responsible for the labor cost is the guy who writes the CNC program to carve it out, because nobody's making that knife by hand. I mean, yes, they're assembling it by hand and finish some of the finish by hand, but the majority of the milling on that is done with a CNC that runs a program that somebody put in, and they put a block in and they hit the program and it comes out with that shape on each side. They probably do both sides of the scale at once. So I'm just getting tired of the prices when they claim labor costs, when yes, those machines cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I get it. But once they're paid off, can't you drop the knives to half of what they used to be when you were still paying off your machinery? Like, come on, there's got to come a point where a program can't cost you an arm and a leg. Good morning, Gaming Sandals. Labor. Yes. Black DLC now, Walmart. Man, y'all got to do me a favor. If y'all do order some knives from White Mountain Knives, please use the channel code Alchemy10. I need the help. Some of the other guys' codes that you've been using, they've already had people use their codes. I need to show White Mountain Knives and that guy, he seems pretty cool, that I can drive him some business too. Yeah, the prices, well, I mean, I don't know. The prices, they just signed into the Mexico and Canada 25% tariff just went into effect not long ago. And at least it's the tariff. We're not supposed to, I mean, they're supposed to add the tariff on their end, I guess. So that's why the prices of Chinese stuff's going up. But American stuff is what stuff I'm talking about. It's overpriced, in my opinion. I'm not worried about the Chinese prices. They can go up a little and still not be anywhere near the American prices. All right, the Nimble X. What is this? Uh-oh. Pre-order now. On Saturday, 10 a.m. Cool looking knife. 3rd generation. Awesome updates. I hate when websites won't scroll over here to the right. All right. Vanish tab flipper. Oh, okay. Yeah, the flipper doesn't show through on the other side. It didn't really before, but they didn't make it the whole corner this time. They made it just a little tab flipper, like a regular flipper. But they still placed it up there where it gets out of the way. That's a classic design, man. I got a lot of respect for them. Same with Winter Blades, and their Pulse OTFs are supposed to be good too. I haven't actually held one or tried one. Yeah, gaming sandals. Canada is getting screwed at the moment. Y'all need to just become our 51st state, and then there won't be any issues. I can't believe Trump actually said that. It's pretty crazy. Let's just make Canada a state. Dude, it's about the size of our country. Like, it's close to the same size. Like, can't just make it one state. We gotta add, it's gotta be at least 5 states. Or however many little provinces there are, or whatever they're called. Because we got the French state. It's gotta be a French state. I mean, it's way more French than Louisiana will ever be. Uh, but yeah, Canada, we need to add like 5 more states, or hell, make it 10, make us have 60, or add 9 and then add Puerto Rico, or add 8 and then add Puerto Rico and Guam as states, because they're pretty much are already. Anyway, Sicker Limited, we've already seen that for the last few weeks. Golden Design Works Slim, saw that last week. That was the one. I talked about the standard. We saw the Rosie's Rippers. We saw the Arrows, because that was the one. Yeah. And then Bodie LL. We know what that is, because we've seen that on the table. All right. Bald Man Knife is another knife company that I want to check out sometime when I can afford to. But I got some decent prices. Wow, that Albatross XL looks nice. Magna Cut for $252. 64 HRC. That says it's olive micarta, but yet, and sometimes the black micarta, when they say it's black, it doesn't look black, and that doesn't look like olive. I don't know. I like that micarta look, though. I like that whole thing. But what was the XL he just came out with? Serpico? What was it called? Yeah, the Serpico. So this is the $230. Is that Magna Cut, too? No, it's 80 CRV. Swamp Camo G10. I like that, too. Man, that's a thick boy. What do y'all think of that? Good morning, folks. When I just read the chat, the first thing I saw was, this place is run by clowns. It's ridiculous, honestly. Honestly. I thought you were talking about the channel for a second. I thought we had somebody jumping in with the Yo Jumbo talk. It's crazy. I guess I should read context, read stuff above and below statements instead of thinking everything's directed at me. Y'all are talking amongst yourselves anyway. Yeah, I like that Serpico a lot. Looks like that'd be a great knife to have out camping. All right, the Sus Magna Cut. I want to say we saw this one already, but Magna Cut seems to be the steel of choice for a lot of knives nowadays, and they're moving over to all the fixed blades now. I still like M390, but I understand and your S90Vs and 20CV. I mean 20CV and M390 are basically the same thing, I believe. Um, if I got my steels correct, man, these are. I'm telling y'all, I said this a few days ago, but I'm getting the urge to get a little fixed blade that I can EDC, something scalp carry. I just need to get used to it. Like that's the whole thing. Is like I reach for my pocket so regularly that it not being. I need to get one with the pocket clip and start that way. I need to get one of the cool new Vero pocket clips and put it on a standard hole spacing on one of these. Put it in my pocket and be done for a while, because there's some. I mean, these are some super cool looking little knives. And man, you don't have to worry about when you pull it out, it's ready to go. Like you got to open it, no matter. You got to have some kind of multiple deployment method. Like it's deployed, you pull it out, it's ready to go. Yeah, 20 people. We had 25 the other day. Uh, so yeah, 20 is good though. We get 20 every morning. It'd be real cool. Knives by Noog. Noog Knight. Suge Knight. I think we looked at these last week too. Let's see, Montana West Slope 275. I don't like that, so we're going to skip over that. This is my channel. Y'all can get the Drop Point newsletter just like I can. Back to Cerebus for the Mutt. Yeah, we like that one too. The Sus and the Mutt. Warlander, multiple customs. What was that price they had on there? $280. So a bunch of these you can get for $280, I guess. Which brings me to another topic that I need to discuss really quick. And that's what about on r/knife makers, r/knife making. There's a bunch of guys on here that are starting out. Some of them are from overseas, but they always ask, like, what do you think of my newest one I just finished? And I've messaged some of them about commissioning a knife, and I think that would be a good way to get a cheap custom knife by somebody that's kind of new. So this knife making subreddit is a cool place to make connections. And there's some guys doing some really cool stuff. And a lot of them are just asking for feedback, or they'll do a showcase. They'll show in the process of, going through. And I looked up M390. I was trying to price how much materials cost. So I typed in M390 knife blanks, and this guy on Etsy, if these are really M390, then this is pretty crazy, because you can buy all these for $97.75 in M390, and this would be a super cool way to make your own first knife. Like, I think all of us can grab a couple pieces of wood and, with enough time and sandpaper and files and whatever, form you a handle on these knives. So I need to share this link because I just think it's an awesome way to go about making your first knife. And I think that's something everybody in this channel would love. And he's got some super cool blade shapes. So when I was pricing the sheets, which goes back to me and Pete talking, this Alpha Knife Supply has sheets of M390, and you can get a piece. They have So this right here, this top piece is 1.4 inches wide. So if you don't want your blade any wider than 1.4 inches, you're fine. And it's 11.6 inches long, so nearly 12 inches long. So you could either make 4 3-inch blades or 3 4-inch blades that were like, the one below it here is 22 inches long, twice as long, and a little wider. But they have, okay, down here, there's a 2-inch wide piece, 11.6 inches. So you can make 2 6-inch blades, 2 inches long. And you need a little bit extra for the pivot and all that. So you couldn't really make 4 3. Anyway, you get my point. For $77, you can buy enough to make a couple of knife blades in M390. And then the same store sells titanium sheets, and according to how thick each side of the scale is, you can buy a piece 2 inches by, so there's a 6-inch scale, 2 inches wide. They make some even wider, 0.09 of an inch thick, so each side of the scale. But $27, you can buy a piece of titanium. So for a little over $100, you can have the M390 and the titanium. And if you had, yeah, but heat treating is, you can also build your own little kilns really easy too. All you got to buy is the yeah, anyway, just look up a YouTube video on how to build your own heat treat oven or whatever. I understand there's costs involved. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something for us to do that we would enjoy doing. And so that way with the Etsy ones, I think all of us would enjoy making a knife that way. I know I would. I mean, heck, I'll be the first to order one. I'll figure out how to heat treat it. And I can definitely put an edge on it. Those are already ground. But that's just an example. That's $100 for a blade. And you can also buy any kind of materials you want for the handle. Yeah, as long as you got a fan and some charcoal, you can get oxygen and heat. I mean, I've seen all those, you see those Indian guys. I watched a guy making some axes last night. He was using a bicycle tire that he was just rotating with his hand to blow air into his forge. And he was heat treating the axe heads so that they would be, so the file, and he tested them with a file so the file would scrape right off of it. And he did a great job in the middle of nowhere, with a bicycle wheel blowing on the, pretty crazy, like what you can do if you got the drive. Let me see if I can see. No, this account is not the one I use, evidently. Because every time I go to this history, I just see what we've looked at on the videos. It must be my... But why would my history be different? It's so weird. I don't know why I don't see the Indian guy video. Oh, maybe I do. Yeah, here he is. So this guy right here, if you want a heat treat, you can even do this. Whoops, let me turn off that sound. I'm going to skip around here, but I want to show you his little bicycle wheel here. So you got the desire, you can make stuff happen. So when he gets done and he's heat treating it, after he's formed them all, he takes and hold on. After he tempers them here, yeah, he cools off. He's checking the edges with the file to make sure they skate off. But if you've done something long enough, uh, you can make it happen. So yeah, so I'm not worried about. I'm just saying for the fun of it all. PJ Crazy Yo, you can buy all kinds of. Let me just show you. Yes, you can change the color. Yes, you can. But you can also buy any kind of color you want, um, and any pattern you want. And there's all kinds, and they make them just for knives. You can get marbled, get whatever you want for like $10. So that M390 knife blade and one of these sets for $10, and you can make whatever you want. Uh, and there's certain stores that have full wide range. Like, oh yeah, this Tyseek store, like this Tyseek store is one of the best knife part stores you can go to. But you can also buy Damascus steel and anything to make all your pivots. And if you want to make a folding knife, they've got all the stuff here. But they've got some really crazy stuff coming out now. Snake skin stuff. And it's super cheap. I've ordered some stuff from them before. Tyseek is where you can find replacement parts if you need to find pivots. And there's one other store I've linked before too. But you can find any kind of replacement screws, knife blade steel, all the mosaic rivets for your knives, Kydex accessories, like how to melt Kydex and make your own sheaths, all that stuff. And then they have yourself wood materials. So they got all kinds of woods. And like this is even East African ebony wood, black sandalwood, like laminated woods, metal, brass tubes and stuff, PVC boards, scabbards, how to make, ball bearings. Tyseek is an awesome AliExpress store. Pivot tools, like whatever you want. Yeah, I had a vacuum forming machine that I built one time to do vacuum forming with plastics to make plastic molds for stuff. I was messing around, going to make some stuff to sell for these people that do the cosplay and all that stuff, and like replica, like movie prop replicas. So I vacuum forge. Adam Savage shows one that he made. I kind of did the same kind of deal. But Kydex, kind of the same way. You can heat it up and shape it any kind of shape you want, which is pretty cool. You can just lay the knife there and form it right around the knife. So I'm going to do this stuff eventually. I guess that's why I'm talking about it. Let me see if I can find a quick video to show you the one he made. So this is the one he made. So when it starts heating up, it starts drooping. Yep. Well, vacuum forming is cool, and you could do that. Almost do it with Kydex. Sorry. Impatient. But you can copy parts and copy stuff with this technique real easy. You can also make like silicone. You can fill in the mold and make a reverse. Anyway. Mine was nothing like this complicated, but same idea. All right. Anyway, that's vacuum forming. Uh, so that just reminded me. The Kydex stuff reminded me of that. But yeah, handle material. Uh, Go check it out. Thai Seek store on AliExpress for your knife parts. Um, I mean, here's a semi-finished. You can almost take that blade and chuck it into this thing and have you a knife, depending on how big you make your tang on it. Uh, yeah, so for $8 plus that M390 knife blank, you can change the shape of those or change the shape of the handle. Anyway, super cool. Store name is Tyseek, Tyeseek. Link for it is right here. Let's see. Store, Tyseek store. Store number is this right here. And in the chat, post a link. There we go. That should take you to the store. Yes, it does. Super cool for knife parts. If you want to buy cheap ones. A lot of the places in the U.S. that have pivots and stuff buy them from places like this because all the parts come from China. But they're just buying in bulk and setting up a store here where it looks like you're getting them from the U.S. But there's ways to make money everywhere. Everybody can get their share. But they have they do have some fully caged, basically skiff-like bearings that you can buy like these. They're fully caged ceramic ball bearings. They're harder to find from China. Skiff does do a great job of making, I guess, USA made ones. But there are skiff-like bearings, like these right here, uh, that you can buy for about half price. Maybe not quite half price, but so Thai Sikh store. Let's go back to. We've got a few tabs open today. Wow, it's pretty wild. See if I can hover. Anyway, the drop point. Back to the bottom of it. I think we're almost done with it. We've seen most of those books. Bridgeport fixed blades. The Mako fishing products. Mako fixed blade. Again, Magna Cut. Made in the USA. Less than $400. Let's see. Compliance Edge. Henchman. Oh, look. Another Magna Cut knife. That one's alright. Doesn't do it for me. Nothing special. It's the weird thing nowadays. Knives have to have some kind of something special, or they just kind of fade in with everything else, don't they? Ranger Made Knife and Tool. I like the blade shape on that. That's another decently priced USA made knife. You know, a lot of these are probably those guys that are on the Reddit, you know, starting their companies up. Like, it's pretty crazy what those TV shows did to the knife making scene. Will it kill? It will kill. Sorry. Yeah, folks, I've definitely changed bearings on quite a few knives. I just don't like the feel of some of those plastic bearings. You're just never going to get the same feel time after time. I'm trying to find. I sorted all my stuff. Yeah, I'll show you. I sorted all my parts the other day when I was bored. And right here, I've got my bag of bearings. I don't know what that says on it. So, I've got lots of stuff. I've got, like, these are actual skiffs that I bought. I haven't used yet, but these are some of the nice skiff-like bearings that they sell from China. I think I actually got these from that Thai Sikh store. I might not have. I had trouble finding different sizes of, but I've got just bearings galore. Like, I've got them. There's some more of the ones that are the caged, but I've got the stamped ones too in different sizes. And there's some of the plastic ones, more stamped ones. And I usually mark on there like what they are. There's some little bitty stamped ones. There's some I took out of a knife with some extra, but you know, if I need some extra washers. And then this is a whole bag of all thumb studs and a couple of knife kits, springs for Demcos. But yeah. All right, TC Blades, thanks for stopping in, man. I'm not going to be going too much longer anyway, so you're not going to be missing much. Another 15, 20 minutes. We'll probably end it this morning. I can't believe, folks, that you've never changed bearings. Pretty wild. It just amazes me how many people don't really work on their knives to the extent that I do. And I get it. If you buy nice knives, you shouldn't have to work on them. That's my philosophy too, but some cases you do. And it works fine for people who don't. It works fine for people who want to tinker. I guess if you got, yes, sir, Ed, we're on for tomorrow morning as long as you are. Everybody, tomorrow, I'm going to have Ed on talking about how to make lanyards, Edyards, sorry, don't want to offend him. And we might possibly do a giveaway or something. I don't know, that's up to Ed, I guess. But there was mention of that, maybe. I'm going to pick out a knife or two to send to him or to show him good pictures of for him to make me a couple of lanyards or Edyards. Golly, I got to quit saying that. Oh, that's cool, folks. Yeah, most bearings nowadays, they're getting better quality. So I've had some that were just grindy and I had to swap out. I've not done too many. I don't like put skiffs in everything I own. As you can see, I've got some skiffs in that bag that I hadn't even put in anything yet. But yeah. Yeah, I figured you tinkered. But you're right. Bearings nowadays are so much better that, I've just had some crunchy ones. The ones, my DEFCON knife that I got had some terrible bearings straight. And then I bought a knife on Knife Swap not long ago that when I took it apart, every single ball bearing fell out of the cage. And so until I bought replacement bearings, I had to physically put each ball back in as I was reassembling the knife back into its little hole and then get it screwed back together and with enough pressure to hold the balls in place. And it worked fine until I got the replacement ones in. But the guy that I got it from, I think he knew that because he said something. I told him something about when I disassembled it, it like fell apart. And he made some kind of mention that it made me think he knew that. I'll tell you what, this Excite-On, I was thinking about selling it, but man, the action on it is just so great. And then again, I like it because it looks like it's an integral. And it's got the little flipper tab. It's not too much. It's a little bit. And it's got the blade hole. So, cool knife. It's a little narrow. It wants to fall out of my hand. I wish it was a little fatter. It wants to, I don't know. It feels like it's going to slip. There's something about... Huh. I don't know. It's weird. Button locks and crossbar locks. And plunge locks and frame locks. My favorite. I messaged a guy I bought a knife from. Actually, it was the Pulsar. He's going to be having another... he's going to be having another huge knife sale. He sold 20 on his first one. He said he's going to have even more the next one. And his prices were very reasonable. So I asked him in private chat because we'd already been talking about him sending me this one. So I had to give him my address and all that. And I asked him before the sale went up if he had any, plain Jane titanium knives that he was going to get rid of. And he couldn't think of many, but it's crazy how many I have. And he had all kinds of decorative knives, but he had a bunch of nice knives. He had a bunch of $300, $400, $500, $1,200 knives, but then he had a bunch of these, $200 knives too that were great value. He had this listed at $185 and I offered him $160. It's the green one right here off camera. It's right here. Can't get me, buddy. It was the green one that was in the frame the whole time. It's right there. Shark lock. And this is a real shark lock. I mean, not a real, but it's not a vision. That's called something else, but right there. It wasn't on the menu for today, so it didn't get talked about. I think showing that shark lock is going to be my video thumbnail with all those knives laying there with the shark lock in my hand. So thank you for helping me come up with my thumbnail for this live. See that I said that vein was super good, but I just haven't used it. And you get used to the certain crossbar locks that they take a little more tension than others, or they re-engage quicker than others, like when you close them. And my crossbar lock knives I have to be able to stand the blade up and close it and make it drop multiple times while it's going down until it drops all the way. Like, you have to be able to pause it. See, this one wants to close pretty quick. Like, Kaisers are like butter. Kunwus, you can stop them 5 or 6 times on the way down. Yeah, and then button locks, same way. I like to be able have enough tension that it holds the blade up if you let go of the button, but it will drop all the way if you hold it in. Some knives you can get them to do 7 or 8 little stops on the way down from the button. I don't know I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. Some buttons want to drop the whole blade and you can't stop the blade. Like that one wasn't nearly as good as that Vanker as far as stopping it on the way down. The Psyop is a great top liner lock though. You can stop it like 5 or 6, 7 times on the way down. All right, guys. Yeah, I bought a guy Knives Are Life. I bought a knife from a guy and it was missing a screw, and it took me forever to find the right size screw to go in it. So I rocked that one for a little while too without a screw. Never failed me. I think I'm going to start winding down. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to have Ed on showing us cool stuff. I'm just glad he's feeling better and able to do that. I should have been better prepared on Thursday to teach something that I know. As stupid as I am, I could have taught something. Maybe I do a little bit of that daily and it makes up for missing it on Thursday. Like today, I showed y'all the cool store. See you later, drummer. Showed y'all the store with the knife parts, so maybe some of y'all didn't know about that. Compliance Edge had, and that Ranger made, we saw that Frago. Yeah, we're getting quite a few knives around that $400 mark now, which is where I think custom knives should live. Granted, these are fixed blades, so folding knives are going to be a little more. That's a pretty cool little knife. Then they have a dagger for $425. It's another cool little fixed blade. Another Magna Cut knife. Urban Cutlery. Skiff. Here's the sponsors. Yep, so that was the drop point Friday from yesterday, 3/13. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, tomorrow I will be able to show all 4 of the new Lemifshi Rosies versus all 4 of the Juful Rosies, and Rosie XLs, and do a little size comparison. They're supposed to be thicker and more like the originals, and so that'll be cool to see. They're out for delivery today. Be Shady, another one in the books. Appreciate all y'all more than you know. Getting 20 consistent every day would be awesome. Then we'll move up to 30. And I know there's another guy a couple times a week that does some morning shows. There's a guy that comes on super early. I don't know if y'all go watch his knife shows, but according to that list, there's a lot of live people going on, and I want to try to lock up this spot in the mornings for all of us to talk. So if you got any other people that you know that would be up this early and want to talk with us, tell them to join us. We'll look at all their knives and listen to what they got to say and their input and learn something from them. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. If you need me, email me. I'm just an email away. Join the Discord, please. We need to get the Discord big, because then we can all sell our knives to all these people right in there, and we'll just swap around good deals on good knives. And all the knives that you talk about that the other people get envious of, they can buy from you. But there's no point in putting knives for sale in there right now when there's only 15 of us and nobody's active. So we need to grow that Discord, make it a place where we can have a little community to sell and buy and sell some knives and links and watches and all kinds of stuff. Fuchs, Random Phantom, Be Shady, Ed, Knives Are Life, Scott. Of course, everybody, all the normal crew, Gaming Sandals. Pete, of course. Pete helps me out with all the links. Appreciate that, Pete. PJ Crazy Yo. Shout out everybody. Still Addicted. Had to get busy at work. TC Blades, of course. Drummer, of course. Be Shady. With the more pictures. I see more pictures from him on Instagram than anybody. Nick. Appreciate you being here, Nick. Sever 7. Appreciate you being here. I've got to do some unboxings. Seeing Sever do a bunch of unboxings, and TC doing unboxings, making me realize I'm slipping on that game and I'm turning into a live stream only. Need to get back on my grind and do some. Concept is sending me some tenable knives, so I'll have some of those to do some unboxings on. A couple more companies are sending me knives now, so I got to record some unboxings anyway, so I need to get back on my grind. All right, guys. It's been cool. See y'all again in the morning. Y'all have a good day. Have an awesome Friday night. Don't party too hard. And if you do, just be safe about it. Love you.